Chapter 73. The Shifting Blade. The void was quieter now, not still, but less chaotic. The pull was gone, replaced by a strange drifting calm, as Oryx's massive form wavered like a mirage. Golden light leaked from deep cracks across his body, spilling into the air like bleeding stars. Vereza's voice cut through the haze. "He's open. Hit him now, before he closes up." The push. They moved as one. Brenna charged first, Wargoat leaping between floating fragments until she was close enough to go lead-heavy and slam her hammer into Oryx's knee joint, forcing it to buckle. Nessa blurred along the giant's arm, daggers flashing as she cut more tethers, each strike sending arcs of electricity into the cracks. Tillo's sword swept ahead of him in a perfect spiral, battering away smaller golden constructs that Oryx conjured to defend himself. Vereza hurled a storm of fire and lightning straight into Oryx's chest, the blast carving deeper into his glowing core. The commander's dilemma. The raven-helmed warrior landed between them and Oryx's heart, blades drawn. But instead of attacking immediately, he hesitated, glancing over his shoulder at the giant. "You don't understand," he said, voice low but sharp. "If Oryx falls, the void falls, and everything tied to it. Your lands, your skies, your seas, all of it." Brenna tightened her grip on her hammer. "Maybe they'll be free without him." The commander's blades trembled. His eyes flicked between their defiance and Oryx's growing instability. The decision. With a sudden roar, the commander spun, but not toward them. His twin blades plunged into one of Oryx's tether lines, severing it in a burst of golden fire. Oryx's voice thundered through their skulls. "Traitor." The commander looked back at them. "Don't waste this. He'll focus on me now. End him." The opening. The heroes didn't hesitate. Vereza froze time once more, giving them 6 perfect seconds to position for a killing strike. When time resumed, all 4 attacked in perfect unison, hammer, daggers, swords, and storms crashing into Oryx's exposed core. The cracks spread wide, light spilling out in floods. Oryx staggered back, his vast body collapsing inward like a dying star. Chapter 74. Into the Heart. Oryx's massive form was folding inward, the golden light pouring from his wounds twisting into spirals that pulled at everything nearby. The void itself seemed to be unraveling, pieces of shattered worlds being drawn into the collapsing giant. The commander fought furiously to hold Oryx's attention, deflecting strikes that could have leveled mountains, giving the heroes the seconds they needed. Vereza pointed her staff toward the largest crack in Oryx's chest. "That's our door." Crossing the threshold, they leapt across drifting shards of reality, the heat and pressure growing with each step. Inside the crack, the light was blinding, but beyond it lay a strange calm, a place that felt too still. They landed on a smooth, glowing surface. Above them, threads of molten gold pulsed like veins leading toward a single object at the center of the chamber. A sphere of black crystal, no bigger than Brenna's shield, floating in midair. The true heart. Brenna frowned. "That's it? After all that, it's a rock?" Vereza shook her head. "Not a rock. That's his anchor, his mind. Break that and the rest of him goes with it." The moment they stepped toward it, the chamber twisted, walls folding into impossible angles, golden constructs forming from the light veins to block their way. Fighting inside a god, Nessa blurred forward, carving a path through the first wave of constructs. Tillo's sword spun in a lethal orbit around the group, intercepting projectiles that seemed to bend in midair. Brenna shifted heavy to smash open a clear route, each hammer strike shaking the heart's chamber like a drumbeat. Vereza called lightning from nowhere, her magic amplified in this strange space, every blast hitting with pinpoint precision. The last step, they reached the black sphere. Its surface rippled, reflecting not their faces, but twisted visions of themselves, moments of doubt, fear, and rage. Oryx's voice whispered in their minds, promising each of them what they most wanted if they simply stepped away. Brenna didn't slow. She planted her feet, looked to the others, and raised her hammer. Together, 4 strikes fell as one: steel, dagger, sword, and storm, and the black crystal shattered. Chapter 75. Collapse. The black crystal split with a sound like the world exhaling. And then the silence broke. The walls of Oryx's heart chamber fractured, light pouring through in great streams. The giant's voice roared in their minds, no longer thunder but a fading echo. You unmake me, and your world with me. The floor beneath them tilted, becoming a cascade of golden shards rushing outward. They were no longer standing inside Oryx. They were falling through him as his form dissolved into ribbons of light, the commander's stand. Through the chaos, they caught sight of the raven-helmed commander still locked in combat with what remained of Oryx's flailing limbs. One sweeping blow knocked him aside, but he caught himself on a drifting fragment, blood in his mouth and fire in his eyes. Go, he shouted. I'll keep the way open. Brenna's hammer itched in her hands. Not leaving you here, he shook his head. I chose my side, now finish it, before there's nothing left to run to. The race. The void was folding in on itself, fragments of worlds smashing together before vanishing into darkness. Nessa darted ahead, finding a path through the shifting chaos. Brenna shifted light as a feather, to leap impossible distances, then heavy, to slam fragments into place for the others to cross. Tillo's floating swords worked double time, slicing apart debris before it crushed them. Vereza froze time for a few precious seconds, guiding them past a collapsing ring of stone that would have crushed them flat. The last leap ahead, a tear in the air, sunlight pouring through. Their world, but the gap was closing fast. Nessa reached it first, holding it open with a crackling burst of electricity that made her teeth grit. Move, she yelled, her voice strained from the effort. Brenna and Tillo dove through. Vereza waited until the last moment, looking back once, catching the commander's distant silhouette as the void swallowed him. Then she leapt. Return. They landed hard on green grass beneath a blue sky. The tear sealed shut behind them with a sound like distant thunder. The air was still. The world was intact. But somewhere far below, they could still feel a faint thrum, as if Oryx's heartbeat had not entirely stopped.